Gonna jump right into the airbrush here. Now here's a snapping turtle that I made a little ways back, but it's one of my favorites. It shows the blending on how the airbrush does a beautiful job. Depending on how much flow you want, like you can see it coming out pretty quick and see the shadows. You can blend it in. I love using the airbrush, but sometimes I just like to sit back. Airbrush is great. Don't get me wrong. Here he is. And here's the king cobra that I did. Now, while I'm talking here on airbrushes, the whole object of the airbrush is to keep it clean, and then you never have to worry. Run a proper airbrush cleaner through it, not water, because sometimes hard water, I notice, plays a little havoc on it and makes it hard to use. When you go to pick it up and use it, you end up having to clean it again, and that's not fun. I like this one. Little face on the back. So there's that. And that was all done with the airbrush. Now, this is a different airbrush that I have. It's supposed to be called the cordless airbrush, but it's kind of funny because it still has power going to it, and there's still a cable, or not a cable, but a pipe going to it to run the actual compressor. Now I'm kind of sanding it down to bring up the marks again. It helps with the airbrushing. That way you can kind of see transparently through it. Makes a better effect. This iguana, it was printed back a little ways back, but I really like the way the airbrushing turned out on it. This here is where I'm going to introduce using, I think for my first time on a print like this, is the marker, the pen, the paint marker that's coming up in a minute. Cleaning the airbrush again, a must. And then you'll have no troubles. I'm not in this video comparing what I like the best. It's what I feel at the time when I say I want to watch TV and work on something, and then the paint marker like this, I can do the paint marking stuff, and I'll show you right here how that's done. I just kind of hit it on the high spots, or if you don't have the high spots to locate and to have a kind of a pinpoint, then you can make your own. And it also depends upon, you push them down to get them running, so to get the flow. And that's all done with it. All those little marks all down the lines. And here we are, airbrushing. This is a jackalope. I did this a little ways back. Now I combine both brush painting and airbrushing. I don't know if I did any, I may have done the paint marker in this. I'm not really sure. There's the brush painting, which you can do in the antlers. Makes the antlers look a little better. It's easier to control on something like that. Here he is. I actually hand brush the eyes in. That's right now, I'm just using the UV light. And this one here, just for fun, did that all with the paint marker, except for the coating on his back. And here's the, this is the crocodile. Oh, sorry, not the crocodile, the American alligator. I keep getting them mixed up. The crocodile has the pointy nose, and the alligator has the kind of a more broad nose, like a snub nose, which I always got that wrong. On a project like this, the airbrush is actually a lot of fun. Here's the other side. Now it's sped up so that it looks like it's a lot of paint's being applied, which it is. There's actually a lot of paint being applied at this time on something this big. And when you control the airbrush with the valve on how much air and how much paint. So it takes a while to learn to use it, but there's no better way than actually getting right into it and just practice on a piece of paper or a piece of cardboard or or a project. What do you got to lose? You can always prime over it if you mess it up. And there it is, basically finished. Good job. Oh, and here's the newer one. I just did this one. Now, this gorilla I was going to do in a few different tones of fading, but he actually turned out really well in the lighting, where I felt that if I put any more paint to it in a different color, I thought it might ruin it. So I kept it like that. It's actually hanging up on the wall in the museum right now. So, and eventually I'm going to show a video of the museum once the walls are well, I show a little bit on the YouTube site in the picture section, comments and stuff on there. And here is I painted this with the brush. I brush painted this whole thing, and then I did all the detail with the actual paint marker, which was a lot of fun. It came out folky, and on the wall in the museum, it looks to me, and I've had comments, it looks real. Oh, here's Frankenstein. It's Monster, actually, made by, or I printed it, and Mrs. Vinster actually painted it. So this is actually her explaining on a video. These are all on videos on my channel. So if you want to check them out in full, please feel free to go check them out. And subscribe. And here's what I call the flu bug, or the cold bug. And this is all hand painted, and I've used some kind of glow in the dark paints that I picked up. And when you turn it on, oh, it's amazing. And I got a light that actually dims, and I thought it was really cool. It's heat and cold. So the cold is the wind and the heat is the lava. So to me, that's what I call the cold bug when it comes in. I think that's really cool. Oh, and here's the Volkswagen Beetle project that I'm working on. You got to check this one out. There's like 3 parts of this so far. And there's even Bigfoot or Sasquatch, whatever you want to call him. Yeti. He's in this one too. But I'm not showing him here because I'm showing the brush painting as of right now. I've combined everything. On the side of the Volkswagen is actually the paint marker. So all those little graffitis that are there, it's all done with the paint marker. And here's the airbrush. I did all the ground with the airbrush. I think I switch airbrushes up after a while here to get a little more flow. This one here is a little more detail. I have it set up for. I have a different airbrush that when I want more flow, it's a bigger, oh, here it is, right here. That's for more flow. I can really adjust that one up, get a lot done quick. I'm not an impatient painter, but I do like to get paint applied unless I'm doing fine detail. And I'll explain that in some of the projects that are coming up here. If you made it this far, thanks so much. It really helps. And I'm trying to get my channel established a little better, get it out there, get people sharing it. So if you could share my stuff, and if you like it, like I said, subscribe, comment, let me know how you feel. That's all on styrofoam. I love this one. It turned out really, really well. And here's Mrs. Vinster. She's actually working on the Donkey Kong. I don't know, it was an ape or a gorilla or a monkey. It's one of the, but she's putting all the colors on there. We got her sped up so that I can put it through. Like I said, again, all these videos are on my channel. You can check it out. And again, I'll be taking pictures of the museum. They're all in the museum that fit on the walls, and large fish. I'm working on an elephant right now. Excuse me. Yeah, there's an elephant going on the wall too. So, and then I'm not too sure if I'm going to do a lion. I'm thinking about a big moose, putting a big moose up. I've got bear heads on the wall, full-size bear heads made up. And yeah, this is a really neat little print she's done. And the actually barrel, the woodwork on the barrel looks real. She really did a good job. There we go. And the cracks in the barrel, and then she wipes them off. That makes a really good effect. Excuse me again. I get talk in my throat. Gets a little hoarse. There's the paint marker. Paint markers are a blessing. A lot of fun. And then she uses toothpicks. I didn't mention that in the title, but we do use toothpicks. We use small brushes. And here's Mrs. Vinster actually working on a polar bear, and then she's showing one of the big bears, the cave bear that she did. But then again, these videos are on the channel that you can check out. And these, according to Mrs. Vinster, these two are friends. The seal, and they're playing. We didn't want to get any red paint involved, so she said in the video. They're friends. They play. Just like some of the kids' movies. Sharks don't eat fish. Well, we're out of the scene a bit there. That's because I had two cameras going, so sorry about that. So like I said, according to Mrs. Vinster, they're friends. And she did the ice. I did a really nice job on the ice and a little piece of snow. Oh, and here we go. We got the muskie. And we're painting the muskie right now. It's a silver coat first. Make sure we get yeah, and then we're going to do the tail, all the little lines in the tail. Now I put something behind it so we don't overspray. You kind of, when you're airbrushing, you're kind of winging it to a point. I haven't done a lot of different airbrush fish, but enough wood carvings. And you know, the funny thing about real taxidermy, I took a bass to somebody years ago, and they're long gone now, but they do the bass at a certain time of the year. And then everybody brings their fish in during the summer, their big catch, and they want to get it mounted. And when I showed up in the fall to pick it up, every fish was $100. It was only $100 to get a fish done. I think it was a 6-pound bass. All the fish on the wall looked exactly the same. And if you watched any other of my videos, the videos of the fish, I don't consider making them exactly the same because every lake, they have a different color. You pull them out of the water, they have a different color. You take a picture of them, you give it to the taxidermist, and they're supposed to make it that color. But when they're working on 100 of these fish at the same time for $100, they end up looking all the same marking, same. I couldn't even tell which one was on the wall. I mean, I appreciate it. It was a good job, but it wasn't like they do now. Like, I've got some friends on YouTube that do taxidermy, and they are really, really good. And even with the replicas, I consider the ones I do replicas to a point. You couldn't get these good models years ago. Just recently, they've been coming up, the demand, because I've been looking for them. So I've been putting comments on some of the channels saying, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? I'll buy it. Hopefully everyone's still here, or most of you are still here. Oh, and this is a brand new project I just did recently. And this is done with a brush and the paint marker. I have a lot of fun with the paint markers when I just want to sit back and I've had a long day doing other stuff and printing. I just want to sit back and enjoy it. And yeah, it may look a little bit folky, but on the wall, they look great. Like in the camera, you always see the details and the mistakes. From a distance with a naked eye, no problem. I enjoy the bright colors. Now, it's harder to paint a replica because there's no real lines of the scales. You have to kind of wing it. But if I was going by a picture of somebody's fish, then I'd have to do the same markings and get the fish as close as possible. Like I said, this one I just did. And then I just start doing a little bit of the black. I don't know if you ever heard me call it the awkward stage, but the awkward stage, is, as far as I'm concerned, is the whole print until it's done. And then if it's awkward when it's done, then you got to do it again or fix it up. But to me, this one here turned out just the way I wanted it to. And it's really neat. I've got a couple bigger ones like this that I'm going to airbrush instead. So I'll do a video on those. It's hard to do videos when you're painting. I mean, you just get going and just let the camera go. It's fine, and then speed it up after. But I show this one off quite a bit because I wanted you to see the gold that I put in it. It was done with a brush. And then that marker, I did all the little details. I'm going to show again here, right here. I may have already showed this, but I'm going to show it because here, this is the lateral line. This is how the fish can hear underwater, as far as they say. And there he is, clear coated. Well, actually about to be clear coated, I'm sorry. There he goes. There you go. That's when they come alive. When you clear coat them, they come alive. And the colors change too. So you have to know your colors. It's kind of like when you're doing clay and you're firing it. It could come out a different color out of the kiln. You just got to know your colors when you're doing it. And here's a brand new project. This is a sneak peek. Brand new. We're working on this. Now, you may have seen the one where I've actually put this together, but now I'm starting to paint it. So one of the newest videos coming up will be the finishing painting of this. Now, I like to put a coat of thick paint on it to start, and then I go over it to see where I have to put some more filler, or it does the paint fill in the holes or the cracks good enough. That's what I find out here. I put it on thick, and then I use a hair dryer to heat it up, and then I cool it down, do it up back and forth, and then I can give it a little bit of a sanding, and then I'll get started on, actually, I think I'm going to do both airbrushing and regular paintbrush. I don't know if I'm going to get a little bit of the paint marker in this one. I'm not sure. But this is going to look great on the museum wall. It already looks great. I have it hanging on there just in white and just in between paintings, so it's out of the way so it doesn't get damaged. So thanks so much. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.